They're as much a part of the Kentucky Derby as horses.
Yeah, we're talking about hats, the fancy hats the women wear. Rhonda Moore is live in West Carrollton with a hat maker who specializes in those derby hats. Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning. Well, check out the fabulous hats that we have on. This is the hat lady. This is Linda Crawford. And Linda, beautiful hats that we have on. I love them.
Thank you.
All right, so talk about how long you've been actually designing hats and how long you've been doing derby hats.
I've been designing for about 30 years, and I start actually designing derby hats, specializes in derby hats for the last 2 years.
All right, and each hat is one of a kind, correct?
One of a kind, yes.
All right, so now you're going to be taking a lot of these hats down to the Derby. Talk about that.
Well, I make hats all year, and Derby time, I pack them all up and I take them down to Louisville, Kentucky, and I am asked to come to different events, and some people are waiting on me so they can pick their Derby hat up, and we just have a good time.
So how many people that are at the Derby would you say will actually be wearing one of your hats?
Oh, I would say maybe 100 people.
Wow, that's a lot, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, and so do you just come up with the design out of your head, or do you sketch them? How do you come up with these hats?
Exactly. I come up with the design out of my head. I might start one way with something in mind, but it's art. So before I'm finished, it could be totally different.
And you also teach other people how to make hats.
I also teach millinery art.
All right, and so if you are interested and would like to learn how to make hats like Linda, then you can attend a hat making workshop on June the 13th or the 14th from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And for more information, you can go to her website, secretbeautyhats.com. And coming up at 8:05, we're going to be wearing different hats, and we're also going to go in her workroom and show you how she makes the hats. Back to you guys.
And I've been to Linda's house and did a story on her before. She is incredible, and these hats are amazing. As you saw, works of art.
Probably see a lot of those Saturday.
Yes, a big deal down there. This is known as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports.
The Kentucky Derby, also one of the sports world's most fashionable venues. Rhonda Moore is live with a woman who makes some of those fancy hats the women wear to the race. Rhonda?
Good morning. Well, how's this for a big fancy hat? And this is designed and made by Linda Crawford. She's the hat lady. All right, Linda, this hat is gorgeous.
Thank you.
So tell me, how do you actually begin making a hat?
Well, I begin with raw materials, such as straw. This is your cinnamon straw, and it comes just like this. And I dye it. Once I dye it, I cut it and block it on a hat block. It dries, and then it's ready for decoration.
Okay, so then you put it on here and then you start decorating it?
Right.
All right.
Well, we block on here.
Okay.
We block the actual hat. Once it's dried, we take it off of here, and then we put it on another head form to decorate.
All right. And so when you make hats like this, how long does it take?
Well, it could take anyway from a day to 10 days. Sometimes, it's all art. So sometimes, just like a picture, you start, and then you need to just set it aside until some more creativities begin to run, and you go back to it.
So what's the difference between you making a hat and just say someone else making a hat?
Well, the difference is that I am a professional milliner, and there are some people that buy blank hats without decoration, and all they do is put decorations on them. They are a decorator. So a milliner and a decorator are two different professions.
All right. Well, you're very good, and I know that you also teach people how to make hats. So if you would like to learn how to make hats like Linda, then you can attend a hat making workshop. It's on June 13th or the 14th. It's from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And for more information, you can go to her website, which is secretbeautyhats.com. I tried on another hat. Love this one, too. We'll be back at 8:50, and we'll have more hats for you. Back to you guys.
Yeah, and she's actually known around the Kentucky Derby area for her hats. She sets up in a lobby of a hotel, and they come from miles away to see her and buy a hat.
I think it's getting to be more and more of a fashion show every year, really.
And they're awesome just to look at. The Kentucky Derby is this weekend.
And ladies, hopefully you have your hat ready if you are going. This morning, Rhonda Moore is with a designer who's been making these derby hats for 30 years. Hey, Rhonda.
Good morning. Well, this is the first hat made this year for the Kentucky Derby by Linda Crawford, and she is the hat maker. And so tell me, with this hat, from concept to finish, how long did it take you to make it?
I would say probably 2 days.
All right. It's gorgeous. It's nice and big.
Yes, it is.
All right. So you also made some different types of hats this year, kind of based on Pharrell Williams and the hat that he wore on the Grammys, I believe.
Right, right. My inspiration for that particular hat was like, oh, I just have to do it. So these are some of the designs, which I made them a little more feminine, but you know, on that line where if you didn't want to just look real, you know, fancy or foo-foo girly, you could still wear it, but not quite as big or as tall as Pharrell's hat.
Okay, and not as big as the hat I have on.
Of
too.
course.
All right, so also talk about the one that you have on.
Okay, the Fascinator. The Fascinator came in very strongly during the England wedding. And the Fascinator is great to wear if you want to put a little something on your head during the evening, because, you know, the brim hat should come off because the sun is no longer shining. So something just little and cocktailish would make a go.
And quickly, you were saying that anyone can learn how to make a hat. You don't really have to be a sewer.
It is art. You don't need a whole lot of creativity, because the creativity will begin to flow out of you once you start. You don't have to be able to sew. I could not sew when I started making hats. Only thing I knew how to do was turn the machine on. So
well, that's about as good as I can do. All right, well, great. Well, if you would like to learn how to make hats like Linda, you can attend a hat making workshop. It's on June 13th or the 14th. It's from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And for more information, you can go to her website, which is beautyhats.com. Put on this pink hat because pink is my favorite color, and I love it. Back to you guys.